Taylor, how's the build-up been? Is it good to be back here in the hub and ready to go?
Yeah, it certainly is. We flew back a couple of days ago. Obviously, the trek across the country is quite a long one, but after a win, it was pretty enjoyable. Sunday getting back here where guys' families and friends are, and kids and that sort of thing was a real thrill. Being able to sort of celebrate the win that we had over in Perth with them, and we're sort of back into it straight away. We had a light training session this morning that you know all about, Steve-O, but pretty cruisy day today. We've got a day off tomorrow, and we'll train Thursday and set ourselves for the Cats.
Taylor, the lack of rest you've had all year, does it help you in a strange year like this? I mean, you go into a final obviously full of momentum, but 2 days fewer rest than Geelong. I guess in a normal year we'd probably all be talking about that, but given what's happened and the craziness of the last 18 weeks, is your body more conditioned to playing games quicker, do you think, with less rest?
Yeah, no doubt, Sam. I think the fact that we've had to back up a few times with 4 or 5 day breaks, to be given a 7 day break, although we're flying from Perth, across the country, it still feels like a pretty decent bit of time off. So we'll have a relatively light week this week. Obviously, we were able to get some training in leading into the game against the Eagles, so there was a few focus areas that we were able to touch up on, and as I said, we'll train Thursday, and look forward to getting out on the Gabba on Saturday night.
Taylor, take us through that last play. I mean, the smother there. I mean, it was an impulse decision. Obviously, there was a bit happening.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Like, obviously, I've received a million messages from friends and family about it, and the Collingwood faithful certainly got around me. But the fact of the matter was, if it wasn't me, it was going to be someone else wearing black and white, because we're coached to be in that position as a midfielder. We're taught to be try to position ourselves in the corridor, and I was the one that had to make the play and was able to, but no doubt that if it wasn't me, it would have been someone else. So I guess right place at the right time. To be completely honest, it sort of washed over me until I got to my phone after the game and realised that I had a few friends that had really pumped it up as the smother of the millennium, much to Heath Shaw's demise. But obviously the fact that we're able to get the win was just so huge for the football club. Definitely one of the best wins I've been a part of, and to play a part in it was pretty cool.
Taylor, how galvanised is the group by what you went through going into the first final, the quarantine, being labelled with dirty pies? And do you think you can take that same spirit going into this week and hopefully beyond?
Yeah, I think the whole year's been galvanising. And I reckon if you ask most of the AFL clubs and the people in the AFL circles, they'd say the same thing, that during tough times, good organisations come together to get through them and support each other through them, and that's certainly what we've done. The flight over the travel period over to Perth wasn't ideal, given the fact we couldn't take our whole playing list, all of our support staff, the people that have given up so much to help us get to this point. And that was a little bit of a kick in the guts, and the fact that we had to leave 10 or so guys, or maybe a few more, 15 players back here that had to train throughout the week. So we're feeling really confident about this week. There's obviously been a lot of commentary about us as a football side in the last 5 or 6 weeks, and some of it, there's probably some merit to it, but internally we were really confident in what we could produce. I said it before the game that I think if we got the job done, we'll turn a few heads. We'll go into this game really, really confident that we can produce the same quality of football that we did on Saturday night.
And Taylor, you knocked off Geelong this season in round 7. What are your memories from that game, and what worked well?
It's a good question. It was a very different circumstance. Over in Perth, teams were coming off different breaks. Finals footy is a completely different ball game. So, in terms of the actual game of football, to be completely honest, I can't remember it much at all. If you can prompt me with anything that you saw, then I might be able to comment. But I just remember it being a really fierce battle, as they always are against a quality team like Geelong.
Taylor, how different a mindset this week? You go back to last week, you're the underdog, you got smashed by West Coast during the season, you come out and win. Now you're playing a side on neutral territory that you beat during the year. So how different is the mindset going into this game compared to last week?
Well, I don't think it really changes. We're certainly still the underdogs. Geelong finished third for a reason, or second for a reason. They're or fourth for a reason. I can't remember now. But they're obviously a quality team. We've had some really, really solid battles against them over the years. They've been a good team for a long time, and they've played in big finals in the recent years, and probably just fallen a little bit short to what they would have liked to have done. So we're expecting a team that's just as hungry as we were last week, and for us to get the job done this week, there'll be. We're under no illusion that we'll have to play a really, really solid brand of footy for 4 quarters, and we'll need 22 contributors to make sure we get the job done.
The sport seems determined to go with more freedom and go quicker, and it really worked for you. Was that a real key message leading into last week?
It was certainly mentioned throughout not necessarily going faster or quicker. It was just being more direct with the ball. I think teams that attack the goal face and put pressure on opposition defences obviously are more likely to score. And coming up against a team like West Coast, whose back six is as good as just about anyone's, and they defend to a man as well as any team does. We knew that there was one way to put them under pressure, and that was to get the ball long and deep inside forward 50. Give Mace a chance, give Checkers a chance. Let Will Hoskin-Elliott fly, and hopefully the ball hit the ground so that Geordie and Jamie Elliott and Josh Thomas and these guys could swoop on it and hit the scoreboard. And it certainly worked for us. We were able to probably set up our defence behind the ball a little bit better, given the fact that we were able to enter the ball deeper inside forward 50. There was a myriad of things that we worked on in the 2 weeks leading into that game, and we've been chipping away at things over the last 4 or 5 weeks that we think sort of came together to some degree on Saturday night, and had a really big influence on the outcome of the game.
Just on that, do you think you can use that sort of strategy again, and that pace and that keenness to move on quickly in your advantage to exploit Geelong?
Yeah, well, we always talk about with ball in hand, we just express ourselves, and we back the guy with the ball in hand to make the right decision. As I said, I know our back six feels under pressure when the ball's coming in high and long, and they don't have a chance to set up or get numbers back. So, most teams defend pretty similar, and I think to get an advantage in your forward 50. A ball that's coming in long and fast and direct at the goal mouth is probably the best way to do that. We probably haven't done that as well as we had on the weekend, and we're able to get really good contests from the guys in front of the ball. So no doubt we'll try to provide them with the same opportunities this week.
Taylor, I think last time you played at the Gabba, you drove down the day before and spent the night before in Brisbane.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll do that again? And does it make a difference? Like, do you think players just find it more convenient to get the travel out of the way, not necessarily on game day?
Yeah, we are. We're going to travel down the night before. All the details around that haven't been confirmed yet, but the players are sort of driving that. The bus ride is about 90 minutes from where we're staying in Twidwaters down to the Gabba, and I give or take half an hour depending on traffic. So, in preparation for a game, personally, I was a massive advocate for getting down there early. It sort of makes it feel a little bit more like a travelling game. We get a chance to chill out the night before at the hotel, spend some time around each other, which we're already doing here, but in a new environment. So it is quite refreshing. and then you've got the day at the hotel, which we're really used to when we travel interstate. I'm pretty glad that we've taken the travel out of the equation, and we're only 15 minutes from the Gabba when we take off and leave the Brisbane hotel.
So on that, do you just find the long bus ride on game day, you and teammates go a bit stir crazy?
Yeah.
Fevers, a waste of energy?
Yeah, there's a bit of that. Certainly, it's even with the technology these days, it is hard to completely take your mind off the game. And you've got the likes of Braden Maynard and Darcy Cameron and Jordan to go at the back pumping tunes that you may not want to listen to. So it's pretty funny. We get to about 15 minutes out from the Gabba on the bus, and there's a bit of carry on going on. So it's I'm glad that we've eradicated that from our pre-game.
Taylor, have you guys come up with a name, I guess, for those moments where Mason Cox just gets into the zone? Like, I guess we go back to the 2018 prelim, we saw what we did last week. Have you coined a phrase for us or anything like that? Do you enjoy it as much as we do?
No, we haven't spoken about that. We enjoy it. There's no doubt when Mace is playing the way that he did, he makes us a much better footy side. And he's put a power of work in. I've said this before. Mace is a guy that he really doesn't leave a stone unturned in terms of his preparation and getting the most out of himself. I just love seeing some reward for effort. His first call on the weekend was extraordinary. I think a guy like that, his size and his athleticism and the way that he can jump and mark the ball, we'll heavily rely on that this weekend to not only take marks and kick goals, but to just create a contest and be a bit of a beacon when we need him, just to get the ball out of pressure.
Do you think at times he thrives off being a bit of a villain, do you reckon?
I think he just loves the moment. I think he's a guy that's really confident in his ability, and that comes off the back of putting in time and effort and working on his game. I read something the other day that he's played 68 games. It's weird because you think, a guy his age, obviously we know his background, he's come from a different country, but he hasn't played a whole heap of footy yet. He's done some pretty extraordinary things on the footy field. So, we really love what Mason brings when he's got that edge to him, bit of swagger, and I reckon his head was a little bit larger leaving Optus Stadium on the weekend, which is good for him.